Some very positive news for the extremely intelligent people who purchased Lucid Stock after their very reasonable projections back in the 2021 investor presentation that made a lot of sense, that I didn't debunk and say would never be achieved and were a load of BS and they wouldn't have believed what they were saying at the anyway, what I'm trying to say is Lucid shares fall after it's dropped from the NASDAQ 100. Lucid shares took a dive in Monday trading after news that the electric vehicle company would be delisted from the NASDAQ 100 index on December 18th. But don't worry, everything's fine. Over on the Lucid website, Lucid announces departure of Chief Financial Officer Sherry House. Lucid Group today announced Sherry House, Chief Financial Officer of Lucid Group, informed the company that she is resigning from her position, effective immediately, to pursue other opportunities. Ms. House will be available in an advisory role through December 31st to assist in the transition of her duties. Now, this is not good. Of course, you will see turnover in companies. These things happen. What's unique about this situation is that Miss House has quit on the spot. This is very unusual. Typically, when there is a departure of an executive, a C-suite member of a company, we will typically hear, after XYZ years of tenure at blah blah company, our CFO will be moving on and leaving the company on X date. We really appreciate this person's hard work and contributions and wish them all the best in the future. What's unique about this is Sherry has resigned on the spot, effectively immediately. In other words, instead of the typical transitional period in which the executive who's announcing their departure continues to work at the company to help transition across, tidy up loose ends, she's literally said, I'm getting the fuck out of here, abandon ship, see you later, bye bitches. The wording here really matters. Out of absolutely nowhere, the CFO of Lucid just tells them, I quit. Worse still, and again, this is effective immediately, to pursue other opportunities, like boarding a life raft and getting the fuck off the Titanic. Worse still is that only until December 31st will she supposedly be available through an advisory role to assist in the transition of her duties. In other words, she's literally abandoned fucking ship. She's on the life raft. See you later, suckers. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you need to clean up some of the shit that I've left behind, well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can give me a call if I pick up the phone and answer. Bye. This is really bad. This is not just a typical executive departure. I mean, this is some serious shit. She quit on the spot, effective immediately. Yikes. Obviously, this is totally fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Move along. Speaking of everything's fine, Ford is cutting its F-150 Lightning production by 50% in 2024. This is not good. Ford cited, quote, changing market demand as the reason. Ford told suppliers to prepare for average volume of around 1,600 Lightnings per week starting in January. Today, it assembles an average of about 3,200 per week. This means that if Ford cranks out 1,600 Lightnings per week all year next year, and they sell them all, they will sell less than 85,000. The exact same year that Cybertruck begins ramping up. Why on earth would Ford do this? And why would they be citing market demand? Well, as we've heard recently, at least if you watch regularly, Ford is losing roughly 75% on every electric vehicle sold. That's clearly not sustainable. The only way to not lose such insane amounts of money is to massively scale production, massively drive costs down, and somehow continue to improve and evolve the technology to a point where it is so compelling that consumers thinking about, oh, might buy a Cybertruck, might buy this or that, go, you know what, I'm getting the Ford F-150 Lightning. Clearly, Ford have decided for one reason or another that either A, they don't want to do that, or B, they can't do that, and in short, appear to have decided to go bankrupt slowly rather than fast. And that's one strategy. Another great example of the competition coming embarrassingly fast and all over themselves. Right when Ford should be aggressively accelerating, trying to get the jump on Cybertruck and crank these things out at lightning pace, see what I did there? Instead, they're massively cutting back. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. But again, I do understand why. I think Ford really have done the math and realized we're actually going to go bankrupt if we keep ramping these things up at that speed. So let's go bankrupt slowly instead of fast. At least that buys us a few more years of runway. This is madness. Let's just hope, and of course hope is not a strategy, but let's just hope that Jim Farley has a trick up his sleeve that somebody with a brain as small as myself just can't even see coming. Like asking Tesla to produce Ford vehicles in the future and Ford just to slap a Ford logo on the front, run on Tesla software, Tesla's batteries, Tesla's everything, and just rebrand it, rebadge it with a Ford logo. Oh boy. This is just bad, dude. Speaking of bad, this is an epic moment in time. Brendan Carr, a commissioner at the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, has just posted this. Last year, after Elon Musk acquired Twitter, President Biden, aka the big guy, PS what laptop, gave federal agencies the green light to go after him. And they have. Today, the FCC adds itself to the growing list of federal agencies engaging in the regulatory harassment of Elon Musk. I dissent. What an absolute legend. This guy, willing to speak out where he sees an injustice. The balls. This takes courage. Round of applause to Brandon. Now, exactly what is going on? Here's a statement from Commissioner Brendan Carr. Last year, after Elon Musk acquired Twitter and used it to voice his own political and ideological views without a filter, and also enabled others to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas, which those who seek to control the one true narrative really don't like, President Biden gave federal agencies a green light to go after him, which obviously is not a form of corruption, and besides, there's nothing wrong with weaponizing agencies to go after political opponents, rivals, and people preventing you from controlling the one true narrative, so don't worry, everything's fine. During a press conference at the White House, the totally not corrupt President Biden stood at a podium adorned with the official seal of the President of the United States and expressed his view, or his puppet master's view, that Elon Musk, quote, is worth being looked at. When pressed by a reporter to explain how the government would look into Elon Musk, the big guy remarked, quote, there's a lot of ways. There certainly are. The Department of Justice, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Federal Trade Commission, the National Labor Relations Board, the US Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and the US Fish and Wildlife Service have all initiated investigations into Elon Musk or his businesses, which is totally fine, not corruption. The squeaky clean Biden administration isn't weaponizing different departments to take down an opponent. This is all just a magical coincidence. So this guy's obviously just a tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist, obviously. Today, the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, added itself to the growing list of administrative agencies that are taking action against Elon Musk's businesses. I am not the first to notice a pattern here, says the crazy conspiracy theorist who obviously is just seeing things that aren't there because the Biden administration is definitely not corrupted. They don't have it in for Elon because Elon, not bad. 2 months ago, the Wall Street Journal editorial board wrote that, quote, the volume of government investigations into his businesses make us wonder if the Biden administration is targeting him for regulatory harassment. After all, the editorial board added, Elon Musk has become, quote, progressive enemy number one. Today's decision certainly fits the Biden administration's pattern of regulatory harassment. Indeed, the Commission's decision today to revoke a 2020 award of $885 million to Elon Musk's Starlink, an award that Starlink secured after agreeing to provide high-speed internet service to over 640,000 rural homes and businesses across 35 states, is a decision that cannot be explained by any objective application of law, facts, or policy. Oh, this crazy tinfoil hat wearer, what is he talking about? It's a coincidence, bro. First, the FCC revokes Starlink's $885 million award, do listen carefully, by making up an entirely new standard of review that no entity could ever pass, and then applying that novel standard to only one entity, Starlink. In particular, FCC law provides that a winning bidder like Starlink must demonstrate blah, 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 blah. You guys can read it. The short story, I don't want to bore you too much, is that the FCC has invented a new standard after the fact so they can simply go back in time and revoke a previously awarded $885 million contract. Instead of applying the traditional FCC standard to the record of evidence, which would have compelled the agency to confirm Starlink's $885 million award, the FCC denied it. You guys get the point. Hence, Brendan Carr of the FCC has said, fuck this shit, this is bullshit, I'm going to call out this corruption. The balls on this guy must be appreciated. Now to be clear, as some guy with 3 first names posted, great to see Brandon, excuse the spelling, standing up, dissenting and acknowledging the corrupt behaviour of the Biden administration toward Elon bad. US citizens should be disgusted that federal agencies have been weaponized to go after Musk for the terrible crime of upholding free speech, allowing people to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas on X, and refusing to do the bidding of government, activists, politicians, advertisers, and others who seek to control the one true narrative. Musk knew the attacks would come, but that doesn't make it right. More people must stand up and call this BS out. It's not right. On a positive note, this insane corruption is helping to wake up many people to the fact that such persecution of individuals for political and ideological reasons actually happens. Let me know in the comments below if you're one of those people who previously thought everything was rainbows and lollipops, everything was fine, and are starting to suddenly understand how the world really works. The fact that the Biden administration is so brazen about its persecution of Elon bad is showing the true nature of many of the swamp creatures within the administration. Evil. I'm just kidding. It's all a coincidence. Everything's fine. Plus, even if it isn't, I mean, at least he's not Orange Man bad. This is extremely fucked up. Musk himself has some thoughts. Doesn't make sense. Starlink is the only company actually solving rural broadband at scale. They should arguably dissolve the program and return funds to taxpayers. Now, check this out. See, Musk's like, look, I mean, hey, the money was available. Maybe just don't waste it. I'm still going to do Starlink regardless. Of course, it would be insane not to take advantage of the grant, right? But even Musk himself was like, maybe they should just dissolve it and give the money back to taxpayers instead of wasting it. But definitely not send it to those who aren't getting the job done. What actually happened is the companies that lobbied for this massive earmark, which wasn't Starlink, thought they would win, but instead were outperformed by Starlink. So now they're changing the rules to prevent SpaceX from competing. Perfect summary of what's going on. You guys understand, hopefully now, how corrupt the world is. A bunch of companies were lobbying lawmakers, hey bitches, we want some free money. Can you write some legislation or create a grant that will benefit us so that we can get some free money, please? And, you know, of course, the contributions to the political party and blah, blah, blah. They go, yeah, sure, of course, we'll write this legislation. Next minute, unfortunately, these dullards didn't count on the fact that Starlink would outcompete them. Starlink wins the award, and the extremely corrupt FCC, being pushed around by the Biden administration, says, well, that's awkward. Elon bad. Therefore, let's just rewrite history and write some new laws that specifically exclude Starlink so they're no longer eligible and rescind this $885 million contract. Disgusting corruption, but entirely to be expected. Unfortunately, this is just the way things are. And remember, the attacks are only going to increase. We have a presidential election in the United States roughly a year from now. What do you think is going to happen when those who seek to control the one true narrative, having lost control of the one true narrative, start freaking out because there's a presidential election they're trying to interfere with and they no longer can because there's one channel, one social media platform on which people can actually discuss things freely, such as, let's say, a miraculous laptop appeared somewhere. People would actually be able to discuss that as opposed to what laptop, and then ban people from even sharing information about what laptop, which never existed anyway. Anyway, long story short, you have not seen the worst of it yet. Elon knew this was coming. He can handle the heat. He can take the arrows, but this is just fucked up. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, My biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links at the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.